we are definitely seeing the effects of the red tide this year.
Increase in health concerns since the red tide outbreak. We spoke to a doctor about what people should do about any symptoms they may have.
And dead dolphins here on the Sun Coast. We'll have that story coming up.
And how the closing of School Avenue will affect pedestrian traffic starting on Monday. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC7 News at 11.
4 more dead dolphins recovered today in the Venice-Casey Key area. That makes 6 total since yesterday, and red tide could be to blame. ABC7's Rick Adams joins us live from Mote Marine Lab with more details, and we do warn you some of these images in this story are disturbing. Rick.
Yeah, Jacqueline, the dead dolphins were brought here to Mote. Autopsies are being done, as you said, to see if red tide is to blame. The police boat has been very busy the last 24 hours. Crews have recovered 6 dead dolphins. 2 were found Tuesday night in Venice, 2 more were discovered Wednesday morning in Venice, and another 2 of the dead dolphins were found in North Casey Key. Some had washed ashore, while others were floating in the waters of the Gulf and the Intracoastal.
It is now getting to the point where our dolphins, who are have a very high tolerance to red tide, or they have the knowledge and ability to get away from the red tide, it's now affecting the dolphins at this point.
Experts from Mote Marine say it is very unusual to see this many dead dolphins.
The fact that it is starting to affect our dolphins makes us even more nervous about what is to come. We are suspect that these are red tide, just given presentation, what we have seen historically, and how these animals are presenting in the location along with red tide cell count.
Even for folks whose jobs it is to deal with these dolphin deaths, they say this has been very difficult.
It's always hard. It does take a toll on us. We just have to focus on the science and the research.
And experts went on to say this could get worse before it gets better. For more information on all this, you can log on to our website at mysuncoast.com. Reporting live from Sarasota this evening, I'm Rick Adams. Jacqueline, back to you.
Rick, thank you. Meanwhile, Mote Marine Lab also taking action to protect sea turtles from red tide. We are in the midst of sea turtle nesting season, and many of those hatchlings take on a big task as they head out into the ocean. On Monday, Mote took dozens of those hatchlings out and then released them at the Sargassum Weed Line, which provides shelter and a mode of transportation. This line is far offshore past the algae blooms, ensuring that these hatchlings are not released into red tide waters and can continue a safe and healthy journey into the deep blue. Many people are reaching out to us here at ABC7 with health concerns about red tide. We spoke to 2 doctors who say the toxins are very strong, and when inhaled, they can cause numerous issues such as coughing, sore throat, and scratchy eyes. But it does go beyond that if you go into the water.
People should avoid being in the water during this season because of the red tide. The toxin is very potent, and when inhaled can cause a lot of respiratory upper and lower respiratory symptoms.
The closer you are to it, the more irritating it's going to be, but it's typically not a life-threatening situation rather than getting a sore throat and some red eyes.
Doctors at Sarasota Memorial Hospital say they have not had anyone come into their emergency room with physical or internal symptoms of red tide. If you must go to the beach, doctors recommend bringing a mask. If you have asthma, COPD, or emphysema, they say stay away altogether. And the tons of dead fish that have washed up on our shores in recent weeks have done a number on Suncoast tourism. Visit Sarasota now talking with local businesses to get a clearer picture of just how big a hit they've taken. They passed out a survey to various hotels, motels, and vacation rentals in the area. Out of those that responded so far, 75% of them have seen cancellations.
What are you seeing? Are you seeing cancellations? If so, are they day of cancellations? Are they cancellations for the future?
Visit Sarasota is also planning on sending this same survey out again next week. Now, ABC7 is covering the red tide bloom from every angle. Make sure to log on to mysuncoast.com/red tide to see all of our coverage, including answers to your most frequently asked questions. And let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan, who has been as well monitoring the report from FWC about that red tide. And Bob, a new one came out today, right?
That's right. And we are also monitoring it and putting it on our weather app as well. So we'll have an update on that, so you can actually check that out on our weather app. We have some updates on that, and we'll continue to do so as well. This is the new map that came out. This is the midweek report. It came out just around 5 o'clock this afternoon. And you can see all this red. Well, that's not the best of news. The red tide report now is high all the way through Manatee County. Now, there are some areas reporting low concentrations there in parts of Sarasota and Manatee County. So it's, again, it is spread out. It's not a whole contiguous area of red tide, but it is causing concerns and a lot of problems now with the west wind. And you saw that 40 samples have been taken in Sarasota showing red tide now, less in Manatee County at 7, but still it is spreading that way. 78 degrees right now. Not too bad out there. We've had some light rainfall, cooling things down just a little bit. As far as this high pressure ridge goes, it is slipping to the south in advance of this frontal boundary, which is moving over North Georgia. It's going to set up down to our south. That will provide us with westerly winds, which will bring a lot of the harmful impacts to beachgoers back toward the coast. Now, we had some light rainfall around. All that light rain is now since moved on. Well, much more in our forecast coming up in a few minutes. Jacqueline?
All right, Bob, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you. New at 11, 4 women are behind bars tonight on theft charges after they were caught shoplifting in Charlotte County. The women stole a deli chicken and lemonade from the Walmart on Murdoch Circle in Port Charlotte yesterday. The women are also charged with several additional thefts that happened over the past week at that Walmart, and Old Navy, and the Macy's at the Port Charlotte Town Center. Deputies say a loss prevention employee at Walmart recognized them from a previous theft 2 weeks ago. Their arrest led them to evidence of other thefts found in their car. And first alert traffic, a high-speed chase ends in a violent crash in Sarasota that led to a man's death. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office releasing new details of that crash that resulted in the death of 22-year-old Terrence Tilley last Sunday. Deputies say Sarasota police stopped Tilley at an intersection in North Sarasota and then took off in a stolen car. Deputies joined in on that chase. They say Tilley crashed about a mile away from where he was originally stopped near Booker High School. Tilley later died in the hospital from his injuries, and a passenger in the car is still in the hospital tonight. Well, the city of Sarasota cutting its losses with a downtown shuttle service after spending more than $300,000 to bring the iRide service to our area. For the past year, iRide drivers pick up these carts in the Palm Avenue garage and then drive around the downtown core. The city says it does not plan to financially support the service when that contract expires next year. One taxpayer we spoke to downtown says she was disappointed that the city spent that much money to begin with.
For me, it would be a waste of my tax money, because I am a taxpayer of Sarasota, and it is a waste. You can do better things with it. I don't have a great example what you would be able to do with it now, but I think they can do much better with it.
We contacted the CEO of Gotcha, the company responsible for iRide, and he says they will continue their services to the city without funding for the foreseeable future. Well, as students and teachers head back to school, those at Sarasota High School may feel a bit safer on campus this year, knowing that a road going straight through the campus will be shut down for a longer amount of time than years previous. ABC7's Jackie Kelly gives us a closer look.
While the gate is closed right now, which is not allowing any cars to get through the campus, you can see that there's still this opening right here on the sidewalk that allows anyone to walk through the campus at any time. However, the district says by next week, this opening will be completely gone. The district says while recent school tragedies may have played into the changes, this is something people have been wanting to change for a long time. Now the only way someone can get into the school is through the main administrative office. The road is also now closed to cars from 6:30 a.m. to 10 o'clock p.m. The district said while they are proud of these changes, they are still trying for complete closure of this section of School Avenue.
So that our campus is completely secured and ensures that our students always have the safety and security that they need so that education can come first, but you can't learn if you're afraid.
Now the district tells me that they have done research on the traffic patterns to see if the closure of this portion of the road would be affected, and they said it wouldn't affect that many drivers. They say that they're hoping to hear back from the city if they can do a complete closure of this section of the road by either December or January. Reporting in Sarasota, Jackie Kelly, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Jackie, thank you. School safety on the minds of many this year following the Parkland school shooting, including Sarasota County schools. Today, 2 sergeants and 12 officers were sworn into the Sarasota County Schools Police Department. That ceremony officially concludes the steps needed for those officers and sergeants to take on their new roles as members of the school-based police force.
Our plan for this year is to serve the elementary schools and to allow our law enforcement partners, who we have long-standing agreements with, to provide officers at our middle and high school to continue to serve there. And then in the following year, we'll move into our middle and high schools.
The goal is to equip 22 elementary schools with SROs by the end of the school year. And then next year, as you heard Dr. Todd Bowden say, that mission will be to expand all 39 schools in the district, including the middle and high schools. With the first day of school now just 5 days away, Manatee County officials plan to crack down more than ever on social media threats. The district says, fake or not, students who threaten to use weapons on campus will be suspended for up to 10 days and considered for expulsion. Even worse, a student could get charged with a second-degree felony and face up to 15 years in prison. Students at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School will see several changes on the first day of school. 17 students and faculty at that school in Parkland, Florida were killed in the Valentine's Day massacre, prompting officials to come up with more than a dozen new security measures. Among the changes are controlled access card readers for staff, updated surveillance cameras, doubling security personnel, metal detectors, and the addition of guidance counselors.
To make sure that we're not only addressing safety, but also the mental health, the supports that are needed, because there are people still going through trauma and grief.
This comes as authorities release new details of the confessed shooter Nicholas Cruz, speaking to a detective after his arrest, blaming a demon in his head for the shooting. Nonetheless, the superintendent said he is focused on moving forward. Stay with us. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast, plus how counties in the south are getting rid of the algae bloom in their waters, and more than a dozen wildfires currently burning throughout California. We'll hear from someone who may have lost everything.
I used to dread getting up and going to work.
I was done with the corporate grind.
I was tired of being a starving artist.
And I started looking around for a business that I believed in, and I kind of wanted to do something a little more green.
My SCORE mentor helped me take the first step.
He helped me create a business plan and helped me implement it.
They've really taught me how to think big.
SCORE helped me to make the unimaginable possible, all for free. I'm here because of SCORE.
I'm here because of SCORE.
Get your free business mentor at SCORE.org.
Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP is the largest locally owned CPAP supply company in the area. Is it time to replace your old equipment? The staff at Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP can show you the most up-to-date CPAP equipment and supplies to meet your sleep apnea needs, including portable travel devices and the SoClean automatic CPAP sanitizer. We serve all of Southwest Florida, giving the highest quality of care with the finest CPAP equipment. Please visit our website, sarasotacpap.com.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots.
All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone.
Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
Bob, we were hoping for a little bit of a glimpse of good news, but you said with the way the weather pattern is moving through, we might have some more red tide coming.
Yeah, not the best. And the red tide's always been there,
Right.
but we had the east wind for the past couple of days, which alleviated the problem a little bit. Not as bad as it has been, but that west wind comes back and the wave height gets a little higher as a result of that west wind, and then aerosolizes the red tide and, of course, comes back on shore, which can be a problem. And the news is, though, that it is sporadic. It's not a contiguous red tide that's covering the entire sun coast, but it's out there, and it is really quite severe at this point. Here's what's happening, though. We'll take a look away from the red tide and just look at our gorgeous sky, right? Here's a tower cam shot, ABC7, showing a beautiful sunset again tonight. A little bit of rain came in, some clouds came in, some high clouds. We also had some African dust floating by associated with this tropical upper tropospheric trough, and that has created this beautiful sunset again tonight. And we had some wonderful photos sent in, as we always do. This one before the sunset, a nice rainbow there in Bradenton, some light rain coming down, Sandy getting that shot. And David Krymer, 17th Street Ballpark. I played a lot of softball games there. It must have been about 15 years I played softball there. And a lot of fun. He called me out a few times. He's the umpire. Golden Gate, Norm Schimmel. Norm, it is golden, isn't it? Golden and red and pink. Beautiful colors right there. Well, we can expect a few coastal storms coming back into play now in the morning. That's right. We're going to change the timing around again with this westerly wind that's been so prevalent this summer. Again, that's the result of a trough of low pressure in the eastern third of the nation. West winds will dominate, it looks like, right on in through the weekend and beyond. And that brings mainly inland storms late in the afternoon. Now, there'll be a few near the coast, but most of that action, the strong storms, will be in the inland areas pushing toward the east coast over the upcoming days now, with the chance for a few coastal morning showers. Titan radar showing all the light rain that was around earlier, it's gone now. We had some bigger storms inland where some areas got up nearly 2 inches of rainfall. I wanted to show you this here. We haven't had much of a hurricane season here yet, but boy, Hawaii just missed a huge hurricane. Category 3 Hector continues to move south of the islands, creating some big waves and some big surf for the islands right there. Well, we have our winds in many different directions tonight because of the rain that was around, and it's a bit breezier in Lakewood Ranch and Old Mayaca, but generally light over North Manatee County. All these winds are now out of the east-northeast. Still good news, but I think by tomorrow afternoon it will stay on a westerly course for the most part. As far as that wind forecast goes, very light winds tomorrow as that high pressure will be right over the top of us as it makes its trek down to the Florida Straits. And then by the afternoon, all of it's pretty much west onshore, continuing on Thursday afternoon, evening, and then into Friday and Saturday. This upper level low that you see right here is spinning off to the west, a little African dust mixed in with that, and that dry air is starting to thin out a bit. But our rain chances are not all that high tomorrow. Only at about 30%, even less on into Friday at 20%. Notice the motion and movement off to the east on Thursday afternoon. Same goes for Friday. A few morning showers are possible, and then most of it will be inland, not much, and then better chances for rain for inland areas on Saturday and Sunday. Well, we have a tropical system, but there's not a big problem with it. It is Debbie, not much of a storm. It's gained strength, 50-mile-an-hour winds now. It's moving to the northeast at 13. Expected to dissipate or turn into a low, it looks like, by sometime late tomorrow. Currently, we have clear skies, 78 degrees. We have an east-southeast wind at 6. And as far as the high goes today, it was 91 degrees. That's 1 degree above the average. And as far as boaters go, looks to be okay out there. Seas will be running 2 feet or less, really, and just a light chop. Southwest winds turn to the west in the afternoon, 5 to 10. The extended forecast, I mentioned that slight chance for showers tomorrow, Friday at 20%. And then we bounce it back up a little higher to more seasonal averages on Saturday, Sunday, and throughout much of next week. Jacqueline?
All right, Bob, thank you. Take a look at the algae blooms just an hour and a half south of Sarasota. Crews being hired to clean up the green gunk in Cape Coral. Today, they cleaned up one of the yacht clubs there. Many are worried it's a temporary solution to a bigger problem.
I think that it's necessary that we try to clean it the best that we can. But the problem is it will keep reoccurring as Lake Okeechobee is releasing more and more water.
The best solution would be stopping the cause of the algae, what's generating it to bloom and expand.
The county says they're doing what they can with the $700,000 grant for cleanup and safe removal. They started in North Fort Myers and will continue to locations not yet announced. Well, at least a dozen apartments will need major repairs after this massive fire in Orlando. The fire department got a call at around 8 o'clock this morning from a child who noticed the smoke in an upstairs unit. According to news outlets there, 32 people are now displaced, including 16 children, but luckily nobody was hurt. The Red Cross will be helping those affected, and the cause of that fire is under investigation. Unrelenting wildfires now out west continue to burn. Firefighters from around the world now joining the fight. Right now there are almost 20 wildfires burning throughout the state. ABC's Danya Backus has more on the people who left, why some stayed, and the damage so far.
On the ground, a fire NATO swirling amid the holy fire in Southern California. From the sky, a devilish plume of smoke lingering above the more than 6,000 acres it has now burned. Wednesday, officials saying they arrested 51-year-old Forrest Clark for starting that fire.
This shouldn't be called the Holy Gym Fire. This should be called the Holy Hell Fire.
On the front lines, firefighters are stretched thin, many working 24-hour shifts. 14,000 of them trying to control the 17 wildfires raging across the state.
Mother Nature is undefeated.
The fire scorching over 600,000 acres, reducing more than 2,000 homes and structures to rubble.
There's 10,000 people that are evacuated.
Those told to leave, grabbing what they can, waiting to see if their homes also escaped the fire.
I don't really know how I'm dealing with it yet because I just don't know. I don't think it's impacted me completely.
The rush is on to get animals out of harm's way too. The Mendocino Complex fire now burning for a 12th day, the largest in state history, charring at least 450 square miles. That's nearly the size of Los Angeles. This map from the National Weather Service showing how smoke from the wildfires in California has spread over most of the West. Forrest Clark is now being held on a $1 million bond. He's facing arson and other charges after he reportedly emailed a local fire chief warning this place will burn. Danya Backus, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Sports is next, but first here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
Kimmel's new tonight with the always surprising Kristen Bell. Wait, how'd that happen?
Can you get me out of here?
Plus John David Washington.
This feels pretty good.
And music from country star Brett Eldridge.
It sounds awesome. It really does.
Emmy-nominated Kimmel, new tonight on ABC.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs As Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system could make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now, SoClean.com has released the world's first automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer, risk-free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
The SoClean works, and it's a really effective product, and I couldn't believe how easy it was to use.
SoClean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks, destroying CPAP germs and bacteria without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and walk away. Voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited-time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better,
and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night, or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night, and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
Being empowered starts with getting informed, looking closer. 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in her lifetime. But many of us don't know there are different types of breast cancer with different characteristics. That was me. Learning about the specifics of my diagnosis gave me the confidence to make informed treatment decisions with my doctor. This meant everything to me and my family. So take another look. Ask another question. Learn more at notonetype.org.
Now, sports.
The Braden River High School football team facing major consequences from the Florida High School Athletic Association. That association found at least 2 of the football players were receiving, quote, impermissible benefits from boosters. The violations will now cost Braden River High School $5,000, and those players will be suspended from the team for a year. Manatee County School District standing by its football team, saying it will be appealing that ruling and, quote, are confident that the decision will be overturned once the full details emerge. The Baltimore Orioles hoping for a comeback tonight against the Tampa Bay Rays and doing it by 1 run. Baltimore takes the lead back 5-4 tonight. And some good news for college basketball players who don't get drafted by the NBA. The NCAA announcing today that they will be allowed to return to school and play as long as they don't accept money from agents. Now, this is only one of the major changes the board of directors will be adopting. The changes reflect the recommendations made in April by the Rice Commission and will target summer recruiting camps, agent access for players, and stiffer penalties for rule breakers. The Rice Commission, led by former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice, was formed in response to an FBI investigation into payments from shoe companies to coaches for steering players to certain schools. And listen up, USF fans. The Florida Department of Highway Safety releasing this specialty plate for Bull fans today. Those who want one will have to pay $25 in specialty plate fees, but the DMV says revenue from the sale of that plate goes back to the university to fund academic enhancement, such as scholarships and other activities. They'll be available at DMV offices starting on Friday. That's a look at sports. We'll have tonight's winning lotto numbers straight ahead.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
When you are home alone, an emergency can become a tragedy. However, with any of Life Alert's 3 emergency systems, help can be summoned immediately, whether in the bathroom,
I've fallen in the shower.
at home,
Help! I've fallen and I can't get up.
and on the go.
Help! I've fallen in the park and I can't get up.
Don't worry, help is on the way.
Life Alert saves a life every 11 minutes.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-518-0221. That's 1-800-518-0221. Call now, 1-800-518-0221. For a free brochure, call 1-800-518-0221.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Well, the Oscars are getting a modern update. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences announced a new category for achievement in popular film. The details about eligibility in the category have not yet been released, nor has the Academy said when that change would take effect. It's one of several changes the organization plans to make. The Academy says it will be more strict to keep the show within its 3-hour window. It also plans to broadcast the 92nd annual ceremony earlier, although the 2019 edition is already set for February 24th. Category for popular film, I don't even know where to begin. How do you even choose?
Yeah,
so
that's
many
interesting,
films.
right? It always does seem to go a little longer, and some people never make it to the end. You know, they're going to wake up in the morning to find out who actually won.
Very true.
We are looking at some nice weather to wake up to tomorrow for the most part. We'll see partly cloudy to mostly fair skies. Temperatures will warm up quickly into the upper 80s. Now, there is a chance at 30% for a few passing showers later in the afternoon and evening. Most of that will be pushing off to the east with that west wind. And as far as the futurecast goes, you can see skies generally fair, as I said, to start the day off, with just a slight chance for a few passing late day showers as that sea breeze starts to develop, and they'll be moving on into the east coast late in the day.
All right, thank you, Bob, and thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you right back here tomorrow evening. Have a great night.